Hi, this is Rob from Rob's Roast Coffees, talking to you in the 2B section of our series of videos about coffee processing. This is the washed process video. In 2A, we talked about the natural process. And there are some other videos on the other subjects, but here we're going to focus on the washed process. What makes it so special? Is it good? Is it bad? What does it mean when you see that on the bag of coffee that you're buying? You'll sometimes see natural processed, washed processed, honey processed, wet hulled processed. These are the four main processes that are out there in the world. There are a couple of others that people will talk about, like the anaerobic fermentation process. A lot more complicated. But if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any requests, please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll try to respond to all of your questions and comments. So, talking about the washed process today, um, it's considered to be sort of the most modern of the processes. It involves using a lot of water, sometimes using a lot of machinery, tends to be less labor intensive, less time consuming, but obviously the equipment involved can be more expensive, which is why a lot of processing plants operate as cooperatives in areas around the world, because coffee farms can't always afford to buy the machinery, but they can send their coffee cherries off once they've ripened and been picked and sorted, and the coffee plants will do the processing for them. The processing plants will do the processing for them. In the first picture you see, there's the start of rolling the coffee cherries between two rollers that have been calibrated to squeeze the fruit and get the outer layer off of the coffee cherry, leaving a little bit of mucilage on the fruit. And then in the second section there, you can see that the coffee cherries are going to be soaked in water so that they can ferment and break down the mucilage over the course of 12 to 48 hours. And then in the third photo there, you can see that you're going to wash the coffee beans, get that mucilage off the coffee beans, so that they can be laid out to dry. And the final photo there, you can see they're either going to be laid out to dry in the sun, which can take a couple of weeks, or you have giant coffee bean dryers, sort of like giant tumble dryers that can dry the coffee beans. They can control the temperature and the settings a little more accurately than you can if you're drying them out in the sun, but they'll obviously give you different flavor profiles. Generally speaking, washed processed coffee is considered to have a cleaner, brighter taste. The fruit has been removed more quickly. It doesn't, impart as much flavor. It's not going to have as much complexity, but it's going to be a little bit more of a straightforward coffee flavor. The end result, of course, will be dry green coffee beans that can then be shipped to coffee roasters around the world, like yours truly, and turned into drinkable coffee.